been asked by Bruce to reflect on Doug's life in the theater, his contribution to the dramatic arts. As is most directors' custom, we start all gatherings and rehearsals with some phrases to warm up the mind, to connect the brain to the tongue. Kate and Mimi made me remember a particular favorite of Doug's. Anyone here who has been directed by Doug knows this diction warm-up exercise. Please stand. If you've been directed by Doug, you know this warm-up exercise, and I'm not going to take a chance and recite it first. We're all reciting it together, slowly, but with confidence. I am a feathers plucker.
I pluck my feathers. I am the most pleasant mother pheasant plucker who ever plucked mother pheasants.
Doug performed on many local stages, from Barrie to West Boylston, from Worcester to Northern Connecticut. But wherever he performed, he set a standard of excellence. Doug was also a skilled director, guiding and shaping productions for many local theater companies, staging musicals, comedies, dramas, Shakespearean tragedies, lighthearted romances. For him, a special joy, which I heard often, was passing on his knowledge to the young people at Wachusett through the productions he staged and the adventures that he had at the Drama Guild with you. At Stage Loft Theater, the theater Doug came to call home, he was intimately involved in casting, shaping the season, and keeping me abreast of concerns floating behind the scenes. As a resident director, he helped guide and shape the format of our summer auditions, always concerned about treating fellow actors respectfully and efficiently. But most of all, Doug's talent was on the stage. When I think of Doug on the stage, I think of him sitting on a trunk with Mark Patrick, leading us through the world of A Woman in Black and scaring the pants off of the audience. I see him as Atticus Finch defending Tom Ewell in Mockingbird, and I see him offering his friend Harvey a seat. Sometimes I think he was Elwood V. Dowd. I think of him in Ray Cooney farces as Stanley, scampering around stage with a stained beer belly, a belly, by the way, he was most proud to have gotten rid of recently. And I remember his impeccable comic timing. Just as important, he was always there to bail out someone if the actor went south with lines. This is not to say that Doug wasn't slow to learn some principles of public performance. When I helped Doug get his job here at Wachusett, one of my first bits of advice was always check your fly before going up in front of the class. You know, just like I always check it before I go up on stage at Stage Loft. Well, I can't speak for his success in the classroom with that advice. Perhaps your students can. But I do remember Christine Creelman whispering repeatedly into his ear while they were passionately kissing under a blanket on stage during a scene in Accomplice. Your fly's open. Flies? Your fly's open. What? Your fly's open. After whispering this sweet nothing into his ear for about 30 seconds, he finally realized the problem. And he and Chris came out from under the blanket with his fly zipped. And Doug casually ad-libbing something about her not expecting him to be so open-minded, or was it something about Monica Lewinsky? I can't remember. Excuse me a minute. Okay. But perhaps for me the most telling Memory that reveals Doug's talent on stage involves our production of The Boys Next Door. A play about 4 mentally challenged men living in a group home. Many men auditioned for a role, and Doug had casually mentioned his interest while auditioning for other plays in that summer season. I knew from my study of the play that I must have a male who could act silly, off base, be creative, physicalize the role, still show us humanity, but most importantly, be able to step out of the role and talk directly to the audience at one point in the play about what it means to be damaged, isolated, and ignored by society as a mentally challenged person. His words are the author's words. I had to have a performer who possessed all those other traits and could instantaneously connect with the audience, instantly stop their laughter and slap them across the face with the painful truth spoken by the author. Opening night came. We tried our best to stage it with respect. Near the end of the show, after making us laugh for 2 hours, Doug stepped out, delivered his speech, and Laurie Altabelli came running out to the lobby sobbing. Doug confirmed it. He was the man for the job. We each have our own memories of Doug and how he touched our lives. I'm grateful that Doug chose theater, where he could reach and touch so many more people and create many more special memories. Doug will try never to upstage another actor, try to remember to use good diction, try to use honest emotion, and try to remember to check our fly before going on stage. Good night, sweet prince, and flights of angels, sing thee to thy rest.